Hi friends, welcome back. Today we are going to solve Leetcode problem 827, making a large island. This is one of those hard problems on Leetcode, a very interesting problem. Uh, Before we start looking into these problems, some examples and the logic to solve this problem and the Java code, I want to mention that my channel is dedicated to help people in their Java J2E and coding interviews. You will find lots of helpful videos on my channel that can help you in your Java J2E and coding interview preparation. There are over 400 different varieties of solved coding problems which are taken from previously asked coding interview questions by big tech companies like Google, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Yahoo, and many other big financial clients. So if you want to prepare for coding interviews or Java interviews, then this channel can definitely be helpful to you in your job interview preparation. The coding questions are also selective in the sense that they constitute very important coding questions varieties such as BFS, DFS, matrix problems, graph problems, coding problems related to binary search trees, linked list strings, optimization problems that can be solved using priority queues, dynamic programming problems, as well as lots of logical questions that can be solved with the help of different data structures such as stacks, queues, maps, sets. So you will find really good and overall good varieties that you can use for your interview preparation. So please subscribe to this channel now. So let's start looking into the problem statement of making a large island. You are given n by n binary matrix grid. You are allowed to change at most one zero to be 1. Return size of largest island in the grid after applying this operation. So the operation we are allowed to do is we can take 1 0 and change it to 1, right? An island is four directionally connected group of ones. One means land basically you can say, and zero is water, right? So that's what it means. They will be giving us the input as a grid, and grid will be n by n binary matrix, right? So it will contain only zeros and ones, correct? So if you take one example, I created one big example here. So this is a 8 by 8 grid which consists of, it's a binary grid, right? So you can see that only 0 and 1s it will contain, right? So only 0 and 1 you can see here. So this is a 8 by 8 matrix, and what we have to do, I'll explain you first the problem so you will understand the problem, and then we will see how we can solve this problem, right? So for example, if you look at this grid, let's say if one way to they are saying that one means basically part of island, right? One is land, one means land, right? So if we consider this 8 by 8 grid, then I can say that this is one island, right? This is one island. For example, island can be like this, right? So I can go from here and then like this, and these are all ones basically you can see, right? So this is one island basically, correct? All ones. There is another island you can see in this grid. The another island can be like this, right? So I can go like this. From here I can go like this, correct? So I have to take all the ones basically, right, in my island. So I can go like this, and these all these things, right? So this one is another island, correct? All other zeros are water cells basically, so we cannot take them as a part of island. So this is one island that we have seen here in this grid, and this is another island we can see, correct? So what the problem says is that we have to take, these are zeros, right? So we have to take 1 0 and convert it to 1 so that we can form a maximum bigger island, right? Maximum big island we want to form, right? So for example, I can convert this one. So if you just consider, for example, if you calculate this number of ones, these are 23 basically, right? These are 23 ones because 8 8 and 7, right? So total is 23. So 23 ones, if I convert this 0 into 1, then I can make it this island bigger. It will become 24, right? So that is basically I can do this operation here, or I can do this operation here also, for example, right? So this one, if you calculate these number of ones, these are 27 ones if you calculate. right? So this is 23 ones, this is 27 ones, correct? So I can also take this 0 and I can convert it into 1 and make this like an island. Then it will grow from 27 to 28, right? It will just grow by one cell, right? So these are some options basically, right? Now there might be one option here, and what that option might be, that I can probably want to convert this 0 into 1, correct? This 0 if I convert into 1, right, if I take it 1, then I am going to merge these two islands into together, correct? So now what we will get, 23 plus 27 plus 1, which is 51, right? So 51, so we are getting very big island basically, right? And the biggest island in this given matrix, right? So this is the biggest island we can get, with an area equal to 51, right? So why 51? Because this island 1 is 23, island 2 area is 27, so total 50 plus 1 for this cell, right? So 51, and that is the maximum area we can get, right? So this is, we have to find out such a cell here so that our area will be maximum after we convert that 0 cell into 1 cell, correct? So that is what the problem is basically, right? So now let's discuss how we can solve this hard problem, right? So let me just revert these things back. Let me just make sure, like, so this is, let's just leave it like this. So these are our two islands, right, that we have highlighted here. So what we will do is, first we will start kind of with this first cell of this grid, right? And when we find out a cell with one means it is a part of island, right? Then we will do a DFS, and we will first convert, means we will first combine all these cells which are island cells together, and we will also calculate the area, right? And we will, what we will do is, we will mark them with some color basically, right? So there is one idea that we can mark them as a color. So for example, I'll just make this whole thing yellow, let's say, right? This is one yellow color I'll give, and for this second island, let's say I am going to give a black color, correct? With all these ones will become black color basically, correct? So so this is the logic basically we are going to use this, right? So actual color marking is how we are going to simulate. What we will do is, this is a binary matrix, right, that is given to us, which means that it contains zeros and ones, right? So for color we will use anything more than that, right? So what we will start with, we will start with 2, 3, 4 like that, right? So as you can see, this matrix is the converted matrix now, that is depicting the islands we have captured with different colors now, correct? So let me show you. So as you can see, you can just remove this 0 0 cell here now, just remove in the sense you can just take it out, and this other whole thing basically is one island, right? So this cell we have removed basically, but all other cell is a part of one island, right? Let's say island 1 is this, right? And we have given a 2 color for that island, right? So color is 2. So now for next island we have to find out some other color, correct? So we will use 3 for next island. So as you can see, this is how our next island will look, right? So this 0 we will ignore, these 3's we will consider, all zeros we will ignore again. So same thing basically what we did previously, right? So this is now island 2, correct? Now we have captured island 2 with a different color. And how we did it, we will go through this matrix. Once we hit this another cell which is starting point of another island, we will do DFS in 4 directions, right? And we will use another ID. So first we will use 2, then we will use next ID which is 3, and we will go through all this DFS, will convert all these cells which are connected in four directions, right? And convert it into 3, which is basically we are simulating that we are coloring the island basically, right, with a different color. So now we have found 2 color islands, right? I1 and I2, 2 island colors we found, and we also at the same time found the area of this island. So first island area is 23, second island area is 27, correct? So now what we have to do is, after this one is done, we will go with this matrix and we will find out any 0, right? Any 0, and we will try to convert that 0 into 1 and try to find out like for example, if I convert this 0 into 1, I'll go in 4 directions, right? So 4 directions. At the same time, what we have done, let me explain you one step before that, right? So when we are finding 23 and 27, we will create one map, right? So one map that island that has a color 2 will have area 23, correct? So this is what we will do into a map, right? We'll do a map of area basically, right? A color and area map. So 2 is 23, then 3 is 27, right? So this is the area of color 23. So this map we have created. So we can use this map later, right? Now we can use it. So now we will go through this matrix one by one. Whenever we find any cell with 0, we'll convert it into 1, right? And we will check in 4 directions. So now we are checking in 4 directions, right? So we are seeing all the island color as a 2. So we will find out the area of 2 color island. So we'll find out 23. So 23 plus 1 means if we convert this 0 into 1, we will get 24 as a new area, right? So 24 as a new area. So we'll manage one max variable and we will just give, first it is 0, then we will map it to 24. So 24 max we have found so far, right? So eventually we will reach this cell, right? So eventually we will reach this cell that I am highlighting, right? This cell we will reach. Now again we will convert this into 1, correct? So I converted into 1. I will look into 4 directions, here, 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 right? So whenever I find out island, like this is a island which has a color 2, this is island which has color 3. So it means that I will have to add these 2 colors, right? So these 2 and 3 I have to add, right? Because if I make it 1, it will combine these both islands together, correct? So which means that we will get 23 plus 27, which is 50, plus 1, correct? Plus 1 for this cell itself, right? So total area will get 51, correct? And we will update our max from 21 to 24 to 51, right? So 51 is the maximum area that we can get for this example, right? Even if we convert any other cell, we will not get anything bigger than 51, right? So this is how we are going to solve this problem on Leetcode. This is a hard problem, as you can see. It's making a large island, and as you can see the like and dislike ratio, so it's a very likable problem, as you can see, asked by many big tech companies, similar problems or this problem. So it's better, like it's important that you understand this concept. So here the concept we used here to solve this problem is DFS. We used to make to color the island, and then we have used the map to find out, like, so that we can merge islands to find out the maximum island we can make after changing 0 to 1, right? So I got I hope you got the idea that I explained with in details with this example. So now we can go ahead and we can take a look at the Java code, right, for this problem. So first we have created like a map called as island size map, right? Island size map is what? This one, correct? This one is the island size map, correct? So that's what we will use it. After that we created directions 2D array. This is useful when we are doing the DFS in 4 directions, right? And why 4 directions? Because how DFS works, I'll just use some other screen. So this also is the same example, right? But I just wanted to explain you how the DFS will work before we look into the code. So DFS will actually, let's say this is our matrix, we are in this cell, right? So DFS will go in all these 4 cells, right? Up, down, right and left, right? So it goes in all these 4 directions, and that is why we are going to use this directions array, right? After that I used a color ID, right? Color ID is equal to 2 in the beginning, right? Because we wanted to start color ID which is more than 1, right? Because 0 and 1 is already there in the binary matrix, so we'll start with 2, correct? And after that, for any other new island, we will use 3, 4 like that, basically, correct? So that is why we used a color ID. After that, we'll get the rows and columns of the given matrix, right? So given matrix is here. So this is the same grid that we just saw, right? So that we are going to get it as an input, right, into our function. here, right, the grid. After that we will just initialize the island size map as a new hash map, and max count is 0 in the beginning, right. Max count is the actual maximum count that we are going to return at the end of the function, right. So first thing is we will take these two for loops, and whenever we find any cell with 1, which is we are finding a part of an island, right, we will start basically what we will do is we will convert that cell into the, like we will paint that cell with a color basically, right. And we will first call this mark island dfs. So mark island dfs, let's look at this function. This is the mark island dfs function, right. So this one is basically a DFS, right, that we will do in 4 directions. First we wanted to check if we are inside the matrix for the given row and column, correct, and it should, if it should be 1, right, otherwise we cannot do the DFS, because if it has to be a land cell, right, then only it can be part of the island, right. So that's what we will check. If that is not the case, we will just directly return 0 here, right. Otherwise we will mark that row and column with the ID, correct. So let me show you this quickly. So ID is the color ID, right. So color ID we will mark. So for example, if you look at this here, so this one, let's say, right, so we will mark it with a new color ID 2, and we will start doing DFS in 4 direction. Then we'll go here, we'll mark this 2, we'll go here, this 2, right, again for this 2, 4 directions, right, like this one, everything will be 2 basically. All the connected ones will be converted to 2 as shown here, right, with the help of DFS, correct. So let's look into this function. So we are giving that connected cell, we are giving the cell itself a color 1, right. ID is the color ID, so we are putting that color ID here, and we are going in 4 directions, correct. And why we are returning int? Because we want to calculate the area also, correct. So area also we want to calculate. So total area of this newly painted island is 23, correct, 23, because this is 1 1, right. So 8 8 7, so 23 is the area, correct. So that's why it is returning integer. So why, how we will do it? 1 plus, we will go in all 4 directions, right. So as you can see, row plus 1 column, row minus 1 column, row column plus 1, and row column minus 1. So we are basically going in 4 directions, right, as I showed you here. So this is how the DFS will convert and paint this whole island as a 2, which is connected basically, correct, 2. After that, when we hit this one, correct, we will start using the next ID, right. So next ID is 3, right. So it will start using 333 here, right. So as you can see, and all the connected ones will be painted by color 3, correct, with the DFS, as you can see in this island, right. And again the area it will also calculate and give it back to us, so 27, correct. So this is what the mark island DFS does. So we are marking all the islands with the help of this for loop, these 2 for loops, correct. So we are basically going through like we are going through the whole grid basically here, right, because as you can see, 0 2 rows and 0 2 columns is the J, correct. So we are going through the whole grid, right, but we only will consider the cell with value 1, correct. So that's what we are doing here. So after we are done with these 2 for loops, then we have already painted the arrays, right. So we already painted the arrays, we got the area values also, these areas of the matrix, correct. And here we are also capturing the area into the map, right. So map of color ID size. So this map we are creating, right, that I shown you, this map we are creating. So color ID size, right, 223 means color 2 has a area 23, color 3 has area 27. So that map we have captured here, right. And at the same time we have captured a max count is equal to the maximum number of size that we have seen so far, correct. So in this case it will be 27, right, maximum will be 27, right. So color ID we will increase after we have done a DFS for the first cell, right, because it should paint with the next color next time, right. So that's what we are doing here. So so far we have painted the matrix with the colors, with I mean to say islands with the colors, right. So we got this island size map also. Now what we have to do, we have to again go through this matrix and we have to find out the zeros, right? So this zero we have to find, like this zero, like this we have to find all the zeros, and we have to simulate again. We will go in all four directions for that zero, right? And we will check into this island map how much area we can combine basically to make the maximum island, correct, after converting 0 to 1, right? So that's one we are doing here. So here again, this is a, we'll go through this matrix one more time. We'll only consider the cells that are zero cells, right? Because we have given opportunity to convert 0 into 1 only one time, right? Only one time, correct? So here we are doing it, and at the same time we are going to we are going to keep track of the maximum count, right, that we have seen so far, correct? So here count islands, we will pass grid I, j, and then plus 1. This count island function we will do, correct? So count island function will take grid and row and column, and what it does is it first uses a set which is like a visited set of integers, and it has a count which is 0, right? Again what it will do is it will try to go in four directions, and first thing it will check is are we within the boundary of the matrix? Yes, if we are within the boundary of the matrix, then we have some color, right, for the cell. It should be greater than 1, right? So it means that it is a part of some island, right? Greater than 1 means part of some island, and it will try to add into the visited cell, right? Add will give you boolean value, correct, true or false. So if it can successfully add into the set, then it will return true, correct? So after that what we will do is we are going to do island size map, then we will get the island size map, and then we will add it to the count, correct? In the four directions we will do this. So what it means is, if you go here for this 0, it will get the value of 2 in this direction. So 2 is 23, correct? And it will go in this direction. Four directions means it will go here. So first 2 we got it 23, right? 0 means it is a not a land cell, so we will not do anything. Now we will go here 3, right? 3 is again a land cell. We will check the size of the island 27, so we will add it into 23, right? And plus 1 for the cell itself, correct? So that's how we will get 51, right? So that calculation we are doing here, right? So count is equal to count plus. So count plus means it will go in four directions and give us all the count of all the connected islands after we convert 0 to 1, right? And we'll just return count at the end, right? And then we will update our max count with this new count, right? This is the count that we are getting with this whole thing, and we'll update our max count with this count, right? So that we will get the largest area of the I mean combined island, right, after the conversion of 0 to 1, right? So at the end we will just return the max count, right? So the solution is pretty clear, and I have written lots of comments here for your understanding. So if you read the comments, then it's very easy. Once you understand the logic, it's pretty easy to understand. So for example, I wrote a comment here that we'll go in four directions for the current cell if it is 0, right? And check if current cell is surrounded by islands. If it is surrounded by islands, then we will do total sum of all surrounded islands and add 1 to it, because for the cell itself, right? Then we will return the size of so-called merged island, correct? Merged island. So for example, these two islands are there that I shown you. We can merge them together with converting this 0 to 1. We can merge these two together, right? So it will become a whole big island basically, right? So that's how we are going to solve this problem with the help of DFS and the logic that I explained you here, uh, right? So I think you got the idea how we can solve this problem. uh, so it's a hard problem, so it's important to understand the concept of DFS, and also understand how we can use the coloring mechanism or coloring technique to color islands with different colors and simulate it with some kind of a integer for your simulation, and then convert, like we have to go and check, like we have to convert each 0 to 1 and see how much maximum area we can get, and keeping track of the maximum area of the new island, right? So this is the way we can solve Leetcode problem 827, making a large island. If you are new to my channel, there is a dedicated playlist on my channel called as Leetcode and Leetcode Solutions. It has over 200 different varieties of solved coding problems explained with whiteboarding session, examples and Java code for your easier understanding and grasping of the problem. Apart from that, there are three other major coding playlists on my channel. The names are Code Forces, Code Chef and @Coder. All in all, you will find more than 400 different varieties of coding problems explained with whiteboarding sessions, and they are simplified using whiteboarding session examples for your easier understanding of the problem, so you can understand the problem easily and you can code the solution of the problem easily, right? If you like this video, if you find this video helpful, and if you like the way this video has been created using whiteboarding session, examples and Java code, then please give it a like. Also subscribe to the channel. Your subscription to the channel is really important for the channel, because that is the way the videos can reach to more people who need help in solving coding problems. Some people find it difficult to solve coding problems. One of the main goal of the channel is to help them in solving coding problems by showing them how we can approach different varieties of coding problems using different techniques, and how we can use different data structures to solve different coding problems. So if you like this video, please give it a like, and if this video has helped you in understanding and this problem in an easier and better way, then please give it a like. Also share in the comments how this video helped you in understanding this problem easily, so that I'll also get a feedback about my videos, because getting a feedback of the videos is very important, because it's important to know how much the videos are helping people. So please write in the comments if you find if this video help you in understanding these difficult problems in an easier way. So that would be helpful to me in understanding how my videos are helping people. Share this video with your friends and colleagues. If they are preparing for Java coding interviews or learning Java, they can also watch these videos and learn different concepts and get helped during their interview process. If you have any questions regarding this video, please put your questions below the description section. uh, the code that we have seen, the Java solution that we have seen in this video, I am going to put that in my GitHub project and give you the link in the description. You can check it out, my GitHub project, where you will find lots of Java solutions. If you like my Java solutions, please consider giving it a star on my GitHub project. That will be helpful. Thanks for watching this video. Keep coding. Thank you.